Are we recording?
Weekends are not for showers.
Spitting on the ones and twos.
Wait, are we gonna get copyright infringement for that?
Welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister.
We're really relying on our editors to do a good job.
Hello. I made a weird face. Made a weird face to get me going. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister. My name is Erica.
And I'm Leia.
And, well, last episode we said we have a cliffhanger for you, which we do. We do. But we have some really important news, not news, but we do have to talk about something a little serious today. Sorry for the seriousness today, but, you know, some shit happened this past week.
Definite shit.
The Supreme Court are a-holes and overturn Roe versus Wade. Or is it Roe v. Wade?
Both. Yeah, it's
Both,
Roe
yeah.
versus Wade. Yeah, but
Roe
everyone says
v.
Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, Roe v. Wade.
What was your experience that day?
Well, I was already in a shitty mood, but
Yeah.
I was already in a shitty mood that morning. But when I saw it on my phone, I kind of was just like slightly in disbelief. And I just put my phone down, like, because I get like those Apple News. I don't know if you get them, and it said that, and I was like, what? Like, I saw it and I read it, but it just like, it didn't register in my body. Like, I think I was just in what's the word? Denial. I was in denial. Like, no, like, and I just kind of walked away from it for a bit. And right away, I think for me, like, I'm like, well, I live in California. I know our rights are protected here. And so I kind of went a little bit more selfish, to be honest.
Sure.
I mean, I'm still upset. Like, don't get me wrong. It was just kind of like, I think just kind of my way of like processing it was like, well, at least I live in California. It's safe here to do it. And that was kind of like, I think for that day, like what I could handle, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think I've gotten fully upset about it. I think I've just kind of like, I'm just disappointed and like, people just like pushing their beliefs on us. When it doesn't really, have anything to do with them. It doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It like someone's choice to have a baby or not is irrelevant to their quality of life. Right.
Yeah.
And personally for me, like, I've always been like, I don't think I could have an abortion, unless it was like rape, you know, stuff like that. But I do believe that women should have the right to decide what to do. And so there's some other stuff too that's really scary, like people that have ectopic pregnancies, which I listened to this other podcast, and this one of the hosts like almost died from an ectopic pregnancy. Like, she was literally like, luckily, like, she went to the hospital just in time. And I think that what happened with her was like the egg was in her fallopian tube. So like the procedure is abortion, but like it kills, you know, like, but if that ectopic pregnancy, the fetus isn't going to survive, you know?
Right.
And it just puts the mother at risk. So like things like that, where it's like, there is no hope of this fetus surviving. You know, like, that's where, you know, that it's even more dangerous. And I think what happens too is this is a religious thing. And there's no like health care. There's no support for single mothers, like, or lack of. There is, but it's really hard. And yet, like, little kids are getting shot up in schools. You know, like I have fear every day for my nieces. Like there's no gun control, and it's like it's not about really being pro-life. It's about just pushing your religious beliefs on people because you're not comfortable. And it's like, why do you even fucking care? Like you care up until the baby's born, but you don't want to support people once they have the baby. So why do you want the baby to be born? You know, like it is irrelevant to you, and it doesn't affect your life. And actually, the child being born affects your life more because you might have to pay more taxes in it. You know, like that's where I get mad. It's like, why do you even care? How does it affect you? It's not your body. It's not your life. So why are you forcing it? And I think one of the things people are saying is that like, rich white people will always find a way, and this affects more the lower class and people of color. So that's where I get mad. And I get mad too because now I look at it as like, what other rights are going to get taken away? You know, are they gonna like, and I think one of the judges was already saying like same-sex marriage, you know, LGBT I was like, help me here,
LGBT. Oh no! Now I'm
sorry, guys.
LGBTQ. Thank you. I got it. I was like, wait.
So angry. I can't think. But their rights may be taken away.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
And then rights of women may be taken away. Rights of people of color maybe. Like, what is like, we're going fucking backwards. And so that's where I get like upset. Like, it's no longer like people, you know, like my family came here because there was more opportunities. Well, heck, it may be safer in fucking Mexico, you know, like just don't get into drugs and you're fine. Don't be part of
avoid the cartel.
Avoid the cartel and you're fine. Like, you know, literally I've had coworkers from Mexico tell me like, oh, we get travel advisories and we're more scared of going than the United States than they are of like here, you know? So it's like of Mexico. Yeah. And so it's just kind of like, what is happening? And you know, I don't know if these things are true, you know, TikTok theories, but there's like a theory out there that like a lot of people, there's going to be a lot more expats, you know, in the future years because people with families just don't see the United States as safe anymore. And we have to kind of realize like we're not as safe as we once thought we were. Like things that we saw growing up, like, you know, in the Middle East, it's like basically just as bad here now, you know? So it's upsetting. I was talking to my friend yesterday whose mom was like part of like her family. Well, she grew up like near Woodstock and like, you know, Woodstock, hippie, peace and love. And her mom was part of that movement to get our rights, you know, and her mom was just like totally depressed by it and like sad. And it just fucking, you know, it just sucks. And it's going to take a while to reverse, like, if we can, reverse all that shit. And this is what happens. You push, and I know a lot of people that are Republican that do believe in abortion, right? And do believe in pro-choice. But here you go. You choose somebody, and they chose the Supreme Court the way it was, and there you go. There you go.
I think for me, I'm still processing. I don't know. I saw the alert come up and I was at work and I was just like, the first thought was like, fuck. And like coming from, and then yesterday was a lot of, I don't know, processing anger. I was really, really angry yesterday. And I think coming from, I was raised Catholic. So I've always had a very complicated relationship about abortion because I obviously believe in choice. You know, I do. And I think from my perspective, I had to grow. I didn't know what it meant. I mean, yes, face value abortion, you abort or you eliminate or terminate a pregnancy. And it sounds so jarring when you hear that language. But as I've grown up and gotten more informed and educated, it really is, it's deeper than that. It literally is a medical, it can be a medical necessity for survival. You know, and I think if you're not going to do the research and look at the science, yeah, I can see, because I was one of those people. I can see how you can get lost in the verbiage of that's all it is. It's like ending a baby's life, you know? And but when you really look at it and you take the time and see what it actually is, it literally is a medical necessity that we as women should have the right to choose. I'm not going to tell you or any other person to be like, yeah, have your baby, you know, or risk your life to bring this unviable, you know, pregnancy to term. Or what if the baby doesn't abort? Like, literally, abortion is the medical procedure to save a woman's life. And I think about all those women, and I mean, shout out to, I had so many friends, and this might make me a little emotional, but I had so many friends on social media in the last few days share on their stories that they, you know, they had miscarriages, or they had a miscarriage that wouldn't abort itself, or that they had an ectopic pregnancy or a molar pregnancy. And these are women that I actually know, and I've never ever have heard them talk about it, and they all put it out there, and they're like, this is the medical procedure that was recommended. And if this were, I know, right, like Erica's getting emotional with me, because like this is not, for me, the experience of the last few days. It wasn't like these are just like random stories, or people that were disconnected to me, or people that, you know, you just hear about in the media, but these were real life women that I know, that I've interacted with, and they were sharing so vulnerably about what their experience had been. And I was like, oh my gosh, just so amazed by these women, and just sharing their experiences, because I knew that took something. And so now, as I was processing anger yesterday, because like I the feeling is helpless, right? That's the feeling I get, is like, what am I supposed to do? Wait around to vote? Like, what am I gonna do now?
Do I just vote?
Like, do I, like, yeah, okay, cool. Voting is powerful, but like, what is it? What is it that I do now? And I know there's places to donate, but I feel like I just feel like there could be so much more. And I think that's where I feel a little lost right now. And I think maybe like the next step for me is like looking at what is there to do? You know, what is there to do right in this moment? Like calling my senators, like making sure. And I live in Nevada, which according to the data out there, that we're going to remain a safe haven. Nevada's a weird state. So, but apparently when it comes to abortion, we are a safe state, and we will continue to be. So, I mean, if y'all need to travel to Nevada, let me know. I am, you know, I think women are so cool. We are like, there's certain things on social media that it's like, you know, if you like camping, quote unquote camping, but your state doesn't allow you to go camping, you can come to my state and camp, and I will help you camp. Like, I mean, this is where like, I'm like, fucking women are badass. And I think it's not over. And I think about our generation of women, like, we're in our 40s, like, this is for our nieces, you know, this is for, you know, I mean, let's say we want daughters. I don't know, like, what's gonna happen.
A chance to have children.
You know what I mean? Like, this is for
one or two.
It's our turn to fight, and I think that's kind of like the thing in my head. It's like, it's our turn to fight. And so I think it's just formulating what that looks like now for me, and then I think I want to put this out there, since we do have listeners. I have seen a lot of like Handmaid's Tale, you know, references, but I think it's important to note that yes, that it's a fictional, you know, fictional story about what it would look like for white women to be enslaved. But we have to also but that's already happened to Black and brown women in this country. So I think just for our listeners looking at, if we're going to reference something, we got to reference the history and what's actually happened in this country. And it's not new. It's old as time for this country.
As old as time.
And I think just putting that out there and just like sharing and amplifying that message that this is not new. You know, like the oppression and brutality of Black, brown, and indigenous women in this country is very real. And The Handmaid's Tale is just a story of, you know, what would happen if this happened to white women. And I think this is the time now for all of us to stand up and come together. And all they're doing is trying all of it. The threat of our rights, not just women's rights, LGBTQ rights, you know, civil rights, all of that is threatened now. And we can't back down. You know, we're not going to go back, and it'll be really, but I mean, it'll be really interesting to see like how this all plays out and all like the part we're going to play and what it means. It's like the only reason to take away from us is because there's an inclination that they're losing control. So it's always been about control. So how else are they going to do it but to take some rights away? You know, our rights. And and so it's a scary thing. But I guess to be continued, right? Like to be continued. This will, I mean, I think I will share like what this ends up looking like for me. I don't really know, because I feel like I could donate money, but I feel like I want to donate some time. I don't know to who or what organization. I gotta look into it, but I feel like that's what's next, and we'll see how it goes.
I don't know like what my next steps are.
Yeah,
like I'm still processing. I think 100%. What I just said was like me actually facing it. Like I've kind of been ignoring it. Like I did repost some stuff, like, you know, what is it, like the whole, you know, what did I write, like kids, you know, like,
oh yeah,
about the kids.
Yeah, if you don't like abortions, then ignore it, like you do school shootings, something like that.
Thank you. That's what and I did a few things, but I know I'm just like going down an echo chamber because I know a lot of my a lot of my followers and a lot of my friends were pro-choice, and I know a lot of us like really aren't, like, it's not like the funny thing is, like, I think a lot of like conservatives think and religious people think like we get pregnant, we're just gonna abort it, and it's really like a lot of us, I feel like aren't like the it's not like it's gonna ruin my life. They like, our friends would really process it and be like, is this a choice I need to make, you know? And some of them it isn't their first choice, you know, but but for me it's just like all the women that, like you said, all your friends or the people that you knew personally, like, because they had complications in their pregnancy, miscarriages, that you have to abort it because then you carry a full, like, what do you do, like the full-term baby inside, you know, and it puts you at risk. And so it's just all these what's the word I'm looking for, dualities. All these levels of why women get abortions aren't really looked at. And it's just looked at like somebody had sex and they didn't want to pay the consequences, and so they're gonna get rid of it. And it's not that simple. It's not, you know. And there's other stuff that happens, like, okay, first off, like rape, like the penalty for rape is less than a woman aborting the child out of rape. Like, she didn't ask for it, she didn't ask to be raped, so why should she be able to, why does she have to carry a baby full term? Like, that is damaging to mental health. She's already experienced a lot, you know, and then like possibly taking away contraception, you know, like,
God. So that I
God.
know, which makes no sense. If you're going to take away contraception, you're going to see like, like abortions rise. I mean, unsafe ones. And I think one of the things that I saw is like with this law, trainings for abortion also decline or go away. So we're going to have like a generation of doctors that don't know how to perform this.
Mm.
And it's like, holy shit. The impact of this is like, of course, it becomes like why people say, it's not, people will still get abortions. They're just going to be dangerous.
Or go to Canada or something.
Like it's crazy. So, I mean, I think we're going to put a pin in this now and move forward to the rest of our agenda. But I think we will probably continue to talk about this as things develop and share where we are
and
in our journeys. Yeah.
And if you guys have any resources or things that you guys seen that can help us, let us know. We'll share it with everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess we could go into happy mode.
Sure. Let's shift some gears. Yeah.
If that's possible. The good thing is how I deal with sadness and anger and all that is through comedy. Guess what? So last week I kind of gave you a hint of a cliffhanger. Like something was going to happen, or I had to say something about something. So, I'm going to tell you, this is story time. So the other day I was like, walking around my house, and I have I don't know what it's called. There's like this thing underneath my TV, like where all my like devices are at to power up my TV, the sound thing, and the Fire TV, and I have plants on top of it. And I walked over there, and my plants like were not in order. They weren't in how they usually are. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is that? Like, why have my plants moved? Like, that is not supposed to be in the middle. That's supposed to be in the side. The middle's supposed to be clear. And I started freaking out. I was like, I think I have a ghost in my house. I live alone. And I was like, oh my God, there's a ghost in my house. Then I remembered that I moved them because my Fire TV was not working, and I had to move the little like the TV stand or whatever it's called. It's not because it doesn't hold the TV. My TV's up against the wall, but like I had to move it to unplug it to reset it, and I moved the plants around because they were like kind of in my way, and I never put them back. I put the thing back, but I didn't put the plants back. But it was like literally like 2 days after that, and I didn't realize that I didn't put the plants back for like 2 days. Until like I walked into the kitchen, I was just like, I have a ghost. So that has happened to me a few times in this house, because like I'll move things around and forget about it, and then I go and be like, I didn't leave that there. And I'm like, am I getting haunted? I'm not getting haunted, guys. I just don't remember what I did. So that was my story. I should put some creepy music up with it. But yeah, I thought it was just a fun story to share.
That was good.
That's a good story after what we talked about.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And I do have a rewind topic.
Yes.
Okay, so remember last week I was talking about how I went to a stand-up comedy show, and I saw like a really cute guy.
Yes.
And he performed, and I was like, I don't know his name because I went to the bathroom when they announced it. Hold on, I need a burp. I haven't even ate. I don't know why I have to burp coffee. The coffee's making like my dinner come up. So after we recorded last week's episode, I went online and like I started searching like, the stand-up comedy like event, what it was called, and the brewery, and finally I found someone that like posted and tagged all the comedians that showed up. So I found my hottie comedian on Instagram, and then I did a little bit of Instagram stalking. He doesn't post a lot, right? So he does a few things. And I found out his age.
And
he's 29. He
okay.
just turned 29.
That's fine.
Like he literally posted like something 2 years ago saying he was 27.
Okay.
And I forgot what, like, the date had passed. Like it was like a spring, winter spring date. We're in summer now. I can't remember what, it was either March or May. I can't remember the day. And he's like, oh, it's something about being 27. And I was like, and I like counted. I was like, that means he's 29. Fuck. Like, I was hoping he was like in his 30s because he was like, I'm a millennial. And I was like, yeah, as a millennial, is that age range still there? So I had assumed he was in his 30s. And he could be kidding about his age in that picture. I was like, maybe he's older. But I was just kind of like, damn, like, that's young. Like, and so then I looked up, well, what's the age difference between Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian? 13 years. He's 20, I don't know, she's 41 and he's like 28 or something.
There you go, girls.
And
Come
I was
on,
like,
ladies.
perfect.
Let's
like,
do this
I'm
thing.
1 year younger than Kim. He's 1 year older than Pete. We could make this work.
100%.
So now my question is, do you think I should shoot my shot and just DM him?
100%.
Just be like, I saw you at a show. I thought you were cute. Can we go get coffee?
Love.
Something
done.
Simple.
Keep it simple. Look, you have all the right to go and have fun. Go, do your thing. Yes.
But is that creepy? Like,
people DM all the time. I literally just saw a BuzzFeed article like yesterday. Say like comparing like celebs who shot their shot on DMs, and ones that were really effective and led to relationships, and ones that kind of crashed and burned. So like let me tell you one.
DMing others?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So let me tell you one that I didn't know. So Demi Lovato DM'd Emily Hampshire from Schitt's Creek. She played what's her name? The best friend. Stevie. She played Stevie. So Demi Lovato DM'd Emily. And I guess they talked about this on Demi's podcast because Emily was on as a guest. And she had said, like, she had thought that Demi was a little too young for her. But they ended up being really good friends. Like, that's how they're on their podcast or whatever. So I don't think that was a failed one. They're like besties now. But at the time, you know, Emily was like, oh, you know.
How old
probably
is
not.
Emily?
I don't know. I think she might be our age.
Is she?
But that's
I love her. She was like, that's the reason
so
why
great.
I stuck to Schitt's Creek.
She was funny, yeah.
Because like her character was like the best.
Yeah.
And so because you know like the first few episodes are kind of like boring, you know.
Yeah.
But like her thing, she's a year older than us.
Oh, see,
she was born in 81, so her birthday's not till August, so she's still 40.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know how old Demi Lovato is, but you know.
I mean, she's younger than us, but not.
Yeah.
Let's see. So she was born in 81, and then Demi, they were born. When were they born? 92. So.
Oh, so about 11 years, 9 years, something like that.
11, yeah.
11 years.
I was like,
totally
fine.
fine.
Are we doing
I
the math
mean,
right?
I don't know. Maybe it's not over for them, but I'm just saying, people shoot their shot via DM all the time.
Because, like, I mean, I may not ever see him again. Like, I'm not gonna go stalk him.
You're not gonna stalk him. You can give him a compliment. That's totally fine.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But, you know,
100%.
Like, I'll shoot my shot.
Shoot it.
See how goes. And if anything, I just get ignored.
Yes, you'll get ignored, or like you end up with a pretty awesome friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like, or it leads to friendship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the worst thing is get ignored. Because you know, probably will get ignored.
Well, I mean, let's face it. He's not a celebrity yet.
No.
And I'm sure
he doesn't post a lot either. So.
Yeah, so he may not be on the thing often.
Yeah.
So.
It doesn't look like he's on it often, but you know, I'll shoot my shot.
Shoot it.
I'll message.
Ooh, to be continued. This is like a series. Okay.
Then I'll tell him,
very
I have
exciting.
A podcast. Many millennials, I have a podcast.
Yep.
But the good thing about Instagram, it doesn't say your age, right? So he doesn't have to know that I'm way older than him until later.
And it's fine. It's all fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I do have it in my profile. Like, I call it single, naughty, and 40. Oopsie. But I look younger, you know?
Yeah,
like, sometimes some guys are into older women for a bit.
A lot of guys. I mean, like, in my single days, I dated guys who were, like, 7, 8, 9, 10 years younger than me. I also dated a dude that was, like, 10, 15 years older than me. Like, it's...
Yeah.
You gotta try them all. So while you're single, you gotta try them all.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm just gonna shoot my shot. I'll report back. Let you know how it goes. I probably won't do it today because
I'm very excited.
Go paint a room, but
I'm very excited.
I wanted to bring that on here because I was just like, you know, I was because I saw him in real life, so I was like feeling him, you know. So it's like I don't know. I'm starting the online dating thing. I'm not too sure how I like it. You know, I got like bots, like or scammers, like the first few on Hinge. So yeah, I'm just kind of like I got some advice from, you know, we'll talk about this next episode. I did get a little bit of online dating advice because we're at 30 minutes in, and I know want to get to struggles and high vibes.
I know we're.
Yeah, because I have some from last week and I want to share them.
Let's do it.
But definitely will report back on stuff and then some advice that I got and some, just
Erica's Dating Chronicles is now a segment.
It's now a segment, my so-called dating life.
Yeah, my so-called dating. I like that. My so-called dating life.
Erica's so-called dating life.
Love.
Let's get into struggles and
Look, my struggle is semi-funny, semi-terrifying, so I'm going to do that one last. Okay. But I can do high vibes first.
But like, don't we want to end it off on a high note?
Oh, it's funny. I mean, it's going to be funny.
So you want to do high vibes first? Okay.
Well, I'm going to do my high vibe first. You can choose what you want to do.
So maybe I should do... Hold on, because we want to do struggles at the end. Wait, I'm trying to think like how to sandwich this. Because struggle, should I do struggle, high vibe, and then you go into high vibe, struggle?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Or or we can end in a high vibe and do like high vibe, struggle, high vibe.
But you said yours is funny, so I want to end your struggle.
Okay, well, I'm going to present it funny because I think I'm okay now. But initially, it's not funny. But isn't that life? It'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine.
It's going to be a struggle sandwich. So,
yes.
Because I have my high vibe. I'll say my high vibe, but I don't know. Okay. Maybe it'll turn into a struggle.
Yeah.
Okay, so my struggle, like, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle for the past few days. Actually longer than the past few days. It's been a struggle for like a month or so. So they put a speed bump basically right in front of my house, right outside this window. So it's like my driveway, like just like inches past my driveway. They put a speed bump right outside my house. And so I see it because it's literally right here. Like I see it right now. Like I'm putting the blinds out my window and I see it. And so, you know, before the speed bump, if people slow down near my house, I'm like, oh, someone's visiting me, or it's the, you know, Amazon guy, UPS, FedEx, right? But now everyone slows down, and I still turn around thinking, oh, someone's here to visit me. And it's like, no, someone is just going through the speed bump. And it's just really annoying because it's just like, since I work from home or when I'm home, you know, when I'm home in the evening, and I don't have like a busy street, like the two streets perpendicular to me, like parallel to me, not perpendicular, parallel to me. Those two streets are busier, right? But sometimes people take my street. And so I just see the cars and I'm like, I keep thinking people are like stopping by and like want to be my friend. And now as a single person, it's like, I'm lonely. Can someone come visit me? So that's been my struggle. Luckily, like I closed the blinds today so I don't have to look at it. But like since I have my recording area right now in my kitchen because I'm like painting the spare bedroom and gonna get more furniture in there so it doesn't echo, like I'm kind of like I just keep looking and it's been really annoying. like I'm like, oh look. So that's been my struggle. But the speed bumps are there for safety. A few years
Of
ago,
course.
the house I got across the street, some guy was driving really fast, and they turned the corner to go into the street and crashed into the corner of the house.
Oh
Luckily,
my gosh.
they just crashed, like they hit the corner,
Yeah.
and it didn't like fully go in, like because they have like they had a garden. What is those things like around the house? They had like like what are those things called for gardening? It's
I
like
have no idea.
yeah, but you know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
think so, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, so it's made of brick. So like right along the house, they have like a little. They go out like a few inches, and it has like a little brick thing.
Yeah.
Because they garden, right, and they have flowers around the house, so that kind of stopped the car a little bit to like get too much into the
thank
house.
goodness.
And it hit the corner too, so that was like a good thing.
Yeah.
But luckily, the guy didn't hit anybody, but he was a drunk driver, So right after that, they started petitioning for speed bumps.
Okay.
And we just got him in a few months ago. And it's been a few years, This is all pre-COVID.
It's a process.
It's a process. So it's safety, definitely. But motherfuckers, I still see some motherfuckers go crazy here.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my struggle. My high vibe. Well, this was because I wrote this last week because we didn't get to it last week. But I think like what I wanted to say last week, and I don't feel it today, but it's because I'm just in a bad mood today. Today's one of those days that like all the anger and sadness hit me. Breakup feels. So my high vibe was just like really starting to connect with more people in my improv class. So last week, I went to class, and then at the end of class, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the stand-up comedy show," and like, I went. I got some numbers. I got some digits, like new friends, and one of them was like, "Oh, there's like dance parties on Saturdays at the beach, and you should go." And I got her number, and it was just kind of like I'm starting to kind of slowly build friendships with people. And even yesterday, like I was sitting near people, like near these like ladies, and they're older than me, but they were like, "Oh, we should go clubbing," and I was like talking to them when it was happening, and I thought they were joking. And then I went to a show last night because some of my improv classmates were performing, and that lady was there, and she's like, "No, I'm serious. Let's go clubbing next week." And I was like, "Okay," So
I love it. Yes.
Like, okay, like let's do it,
Yeah.
And so, slowly building those friendships. It's not the same. Like I don't feel like I'm fully there yet. Like I still kind of feel a little bit off. Well, last night I felt a little bit off, but mainly because half of the people were performing and their friends and family were there, so I just felt a little off. But I think I'm getting there. I think I'm like meeting new people and going out and having like a good time. It's just like I'm just kind of getting, what is it, my when babies are born, my walking legs.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Like think of like the deer trying to get up. Probably that is me right now, because so, and it's a high vibe, and I'm gonna go a little bit into like sad vibes, but because like I don't know if I've ever really explained my story, but when I left my hometown, I went to school and I made like my really good friends and best friends in college, and I made
that's
a
us.
life. Yeah, that's you guys. And I made a life in LA. So a lot of like my people, like my deep soul, like people don't live in this area, So I really I kept acquaintances, but I really disconnected myself from the people that I was friends with in high school, because I never actually felt that I related to them. And towards like my senior year, like I started making new friends, and actually some of the friends that I made my senior year are actually friends that I have right now, but they don't even live here either. They moved away. So I really, really built connections more with people that I met in college and when I moved to LA and worked in casting, so like my soul people aren't here. So when I moved back home to, make this relationship work, because we were long distance for 3 years, the friends I made are all tied to my ex, whether it's his sister-in-law, his friends' wives or girlfriends. They're all really closely tied. So, and even my job, I got, and I just kind of stayed with it, and I kept getting promoted. I felt like everything I have, I hit the microphone, everything I have right now in my life, it was just to make this relationship work. And now that this relationship is gone, it doesn't feel right and aligned to me. So right now I'm kind of rebuilding my foundation, and that's why I'm like Bambi legs, like like doing my own thing, you know. And I mean, I made friends at work. Some moved away, but I didn't nurture those friendships as much, just because, you know, like I was in a relationship, and so I had to nurture that more, and I didn't put as much focus as I did to those other relationships. And it's just harder. A lot of people have my age have like families and relationships, or like are busy. Like I have a friend that's single, but she's like super aunt. She's like a super aunt and always like doing things and doing family stuff. But we try to hang as much as possible too. So, you know, it's just kind of like just getting my Bambi legs, right? Like just learning to really learn to have this social life while still in your 40s and working full time and working on other projects. So, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out, and like one thing at a time, like things that I want to accomplish like this year. Like, what is that one thing that I really want to change? Because I think lately I've been like trying to change everything, or I want to and I don't do anything. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she was just like, you know, like, don't try to change everything at once. It's not gonna like make the pain go away. Just do one thing that you know and focus on that. And I was like, you're right. So
because you can get overwhelmed, and it's like, all the things.
I think when the breakup happened, literally was overwhelmed. I couldn't sleep because I was so scared, because I thought like, okay, I have to change everything. Because that was one of the things that like I always had like in the back of my head, like if we break up, I'm just gonna like drop everything and go. And I used to do that when I was younger, you know, drop everything and go. And I was always like chasing. But like right now, I know it's like that's not going to serve me anymore, because chasing doesn't make things go away. I have to face certain things and certain realities, and face like my inner demons. Face my inner demons, but also face like belief systems that have keep me stuck for so long. And heal, like actually really heal. And healing hurts. Trust me. Like Leia and I talked for an hour before we logged on. It's just like not ready to podcast, but see, when the mic and the camera come on, I am.
She's ready to go.
I'm ready to go. So that's my struggle high vibes all in one.
I love. It's a journey. It's a journey. Well, my high vibe, I will tell you this. I slept for like a good 13 hours Friday night into Saturday. What? I know. I haven't had one of those sleeps. My body it was a hard week, guys, emotionally, physically. I was on my period, and it just, my body needed, I think I fell asleep around 7, woke up like around like 8 or 9 the next day. And it was going to be, I could feel it. I was like, oh my gosh. This is one of those days where I just want to stay in bed all day and not like do anything. I didn't do that. Like I did get up, I hit the pool, but it was nice to listen to my body. I think this round of period, this month I think I listened to my body more than I have. I think it just happens more and more, but this week, I needed a lot. I needed a lot more. Like, I needed a lot more rest. I needed time to cry. I needed time to process. And I needed time to rest. Like, rest and process. Rest and process was the thing of this week. And so I'm proud of myself that I, moved my schedule around. Things will magically, they all still got done. It all still got done. Things are moved to next week, and that feels good too. I feel good. And like, so the first instinct is always to push through. Always. It's always that first instinct.
Always.
Like, always. So if I don't catch it, it's like, oh, well, you don't have to. Like, there's nothing to prove here. I just need to take a minute and like, end the day early and cry. And there really wasn't anything wrong. Like, it just, sometimes when you're on your period, that's what's going to come out. It's like you're processing and letting go of different things every single month. So I leaned in this week, and I'm very proud of myself that I took the time to take care of myself, and that felt super, super good.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about my fucking not high vibe, my
Your struggle.
fucking struggle, guys. So I had been watching Staircase. It's the documentary series on Netflix about the Michael Peterson case. And I'm not a true crime person.
Yeah.
That's Erica's vibe. Not my vibe, not my thing. But you know, our friends, we spent the weekend with our friends and they kept talking about it. I was like, you know,
that was like the hot topic.
The hot topic was this documentary Staircase, and then the HBO limited series called Staircase about the same things. You know, the Michael Peterson case, you know, his wife was found at the foot of the stairs and he got blamed for her murder. It was about the trial. I'm not going to get into it, but
just go watch it.
Just go watch it. And apparently there's some owl involved. And so, like, I'm not going to give too many spoilers, but apparently, like, that's one of the hypotheses, guys, is like an owl was involved. Like, it attacked this woman. But so I had to find out what this was about. So I did what the girls had recommended. I watched the documentary first, like, you know, reading the book and then watching the movie. So I did the documentary. Cool. And then I did the HBO series, you know, and it was great. It was great. But, like, this is why I don't watch or listen to true crime, because it gets in my fucking head. It gets in my head and then it lives there. So it'll, like, literally the experience is kind of like haunting. So, like, for example, we ended the HBO series like last Saturday. And then Saturday night, Sunday, I still feel the vibe of this, you know, case, right? Yeah. Like, I want to look things up. I want to look up owls. I want to see where everyone's at now. Like, are they okay? Like, what are the kids up to? Like, I get in my head about the whole thing and whatever. So on Monday, I decide this is the week I am going to start walking like Erica has been walking. She's seeing the benefits of walking. You know, it's not as hard on your body. It doesn't spike your cortisol. She's seeing some things. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to incorporate fucking walking into my regimen. And I got to do it early in the morning because I start work like at 6 a.m.
And it's fucking hot where you live.
And it's hot as balls, right? So, like, I got to do it either in the morning or, like, at night. And I don't want to do it at night. I'm already tired. So, and then I'm a morning person. So I'm up at dusk. I get Charlie ready. We go. And, like, we're just, like, walking the park. It's great. It's good times. It's really peaceful. And then, like, I'm approaching the basketball courts and all I hear is, like, well, one, Charlie starts to slow down. And I was like, okay, well, maybe you're getting tired. We're going to wrap it up soon. And then, like, almost immediately I hear, like, this screeching. And I will never forget the sound because I can't even do it. I will never forget the sound that I heard because it felt like really close, like, or approaching, like from the back of my head. I turn around and there's this fucking owl coming at me with his talons like this, like trying to get at my head, and his wings are like out and he's like coming at me screeching, and I'm like, holy shit. So my body like ran. Like, I was like, come on, Charlie. And we like sprint and I'm screaming and I'm flailing my arms, like trying to get this bird fucking away from me. It would not leave me alone. It was still trying to come get my head, guys. Like, it was coming at me. And like, I think I ran far enough away and it eventually left us alone. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, my brain was like, is this fucking real life? Is this real? Did that just fucking happen? Because we literally spent 2 weekends in a row talking about owl attacks, right? We went to Palm Springs. We talked about it there. I watched.
Well, because an owl came.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we were like sitting on one side of the backyard, and like an owl just like flew by really low. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
So, and I was like, big fucking deal. But no, this was real. And I ran into another dog parent who was walking their dog. And I was, of course, friendly neighbor. I was like, watch out over there by the basketball courts. I just got attacked by a fucking owl. And he was like, oh yeah, they've lived here for like 7 to 8 years, but they only get aggressive when they have babies and they let their babies roam. And I was like, well, I guess they're fucking roaming because that motherfucker,
close to the baby.
fucking, yeah, that motherfucker came at me. So now, guys, I'm so traumatized. I'm traumatized. So the next day, I was like, or no, because I'm walking every other day. So, 2 days later, I'm like, come on, Charlie, let's try this again. I didn't even get down my street when I heard the screeching. So it must have been, I don't know if they're, the park is really close to us. So it's like, I don't know if they're just in the area right now, but I will never forget the screech. I will never forget that sound. I literally turned around and ran back to our house. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing it. So now I'm only walking on the weekends because the most active time for owls is like at dusk and dawn. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm walking on the weekends when I can make it to 7 a.m. and they're fucking asleep. Yeah. So that's my little PSA for everyone is watch out for the fucking owls because they are not cute. They are not cuddly. They are vicious. They're vicious, and I am not friends. Yeah. I'm not friends with them. Yeah. So there's my story. That's my struggle of the week.
So one side note before we leave is okay. Like I know, like things live in your head rent free, especially when you watch scary stuff, right? And it really like consumes you and haunts you. So I watched Stranger Things. I'm up to date. How did you watch season 4, part 1 of season 4? Because it's part 1. Because like season 4 of Stranger Things is kind of scary. I was like, I mean, yes. I loved it, but 100. I was like, this is scarier than the last 3 episodes, guy. And also, 100%. I have to say, season 3 sucked. Don't watch season 3. You just need the cliff notes. You don't really need much information. Yeah. You could skip it and go to season 4.
But I did say, like, season 3 really does set up for season 4.
A little bit.
Well, hello, Billy, and what's her name's experience? Like, the trauma. But like I was like,
did was like a flash in her head. And so that's true. All you really need.
I guess so. I mean, I did think that season 3 was the weakest of the 3 previous seasons. Yeah. Honestly, I only watched it during the day. During the daytime, and then once that was done, I was done. I watched something happy or something comforting.
It's dark.
It was a dark season. Yeah, it's a good season.
It was good. I really liked what they did because I was like,
I did too.
I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do now? Like, you did all this other stuff. It's like, it's over it, and then they just hit me, and I was like,
it was good.
Thank you. Yeah. So now I have high expectations for part 2 of season 4.
Same.
Same. Yeah.
But this one, it didn't haunt me the way because nothing attacked me. So,
I mean, you don't have the upside down coming.
I don't have the upside down. Like, I think, I think that's why I don't do true crime because they were true. I think I can do like Stranger Things. Yeah.
Stranger Things is fiction.
It's fiction. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad I don't have more Stranger Things to watch. I'm currently watching Umbrella
next week,
Academy.
Though.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's coming out already. Yeah, July I was kind of happy when I saw that like it was out like sooner than later. I was like, oh great, I'm so glad I like held off on watching this.
Next week already.
So wow. But that's our show.
That's our show, our friends.
Don't get attacked by owls.
Watch out for those
Stranger Things.
Fucking owls.
What else? Go make friends with people in blue or purple states. Take care of yourselves.
Yes. We love you.
Self-care. We need it. And
100.
Let's fight for our right to party.
Yep.
Or, let's fight for our rights to have rights, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, word.
Yeah, let's fight for our rights
Word.
to have rights. And not fight, but get behind and create a world that like this shit doesn't ever happen again. Let's create it.
Word. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's do this.
We
thing.
love you.
Love you.
Peace.
Bye.